This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Revival Gold, Mr. Hugh Agro. Hugh, it seems like the last couple of times we've spoken, it's been within a backdrop of brand new all-time highs for gold. Today is no exception. What a day to be a Revival shareholder and announce what is clearly a transformative transaction for the company and for shareholders. Congratulations on the news today. I'll let you provide the context because there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh yeah, super excited, Gerardo, and super excited to be doing this at a time of rising gold prices and with you guys on the Resource Stock Digest on board here. So we've put together a transformative transaction for Revival Gold. We are acquiring the Ensign Mercur gold project in Utah. It's a very good fit with our Beartrack Arnett gold project. Importantly, it is immediately accretive, adding over 60% on a per share basis to our heap leachable resources, which of course is those relatively capital efficient resources to exploit. And for just 1/3 of our market cap, we're taking our total resources to 6 million ounces and our target production from heap leach to 150,000 ounces a year. And again, this is all in the Western U.S. In two projects. They're about a 6-hour drive from one another, so very synergistic for our team. And with gold going where it's going, we're really excited about what this means in terms of leverage for our shareholders, moving more quickly to production, and capitalizing on the excellent U.S. presence that we have at Revival Gold.
Let's talk about taking advantage of the gold sweet spot. And what I mean by that is oftentimes explorers and developers will be sitting on, a couple of million ounces of gold and make a discovery. But by the time they actually get through the permitting cycle and the development cycle, they've missed the profitable portion of that cycle because, let's be frank, it's a cyclical space, right? I think that we're just in the beginning of what's going to be a historic gold bull market, and you accelerating the timeline to potential production, I think, should be really highlighted and appreciated. Can you speak to how this transaction does that for Revival?
Well, firstly, the Mercur project we're acquiring is on private land in the United States. That's very important for permitting. And secondly, it's in an area that's semi-arid, which means there's not a lot of water around to sample, test, background, explore, and baseline study. So that too is very beneficial for permitting. So those two things, private land and semi-arid location, allow us to move more quickly through the permitting. And with the state regulator of Idaho, that's DOGMA, as opposed to the federal agencies and the NEPA, National Environmental Protection Agency process. And so that's really important for us. And we think we can take this from where we are now to turning a shovel within less than 3 years. Of course, Beartrack Arnett, we've already moved through the engineering. We're at PFS stage there, a very high return project, 24% after tax at $1,800 gold. And we know very clearly the timeline for that at about 3.5 years. And really the driving force there is the requirement to do additional and supplementary baseline data collection. So we'll advance steps on re-permitting at Beartrack, but the engineering team will shift over to Mercur, put NAV, net asset value, to the Mercur project, get the engineering works going, and we'll have a PEA by the end of first quarter 2025, and then move to get into operation, construction, decision, and so on. And as you say, to capitalize on this gold price environment. And then we'll have the Beartrack project following soon after. And that's synergistic growth and organic growth from these two brownfield sites where we can take advantage of the existing infrastructure, all of the team experience with these kinds of projects. It's just a wonderful place to be, and we're really excited about what this means for Revival Gold.
I was online, as I often am in the daytime, right, just to kind of get a temperature check. And there was a comment made about a director that is shared by both companies. And so I thought I'd play devil's advocate a bit, because we're huge on transparency around here, and making sure that, we try to address the questions that people actually are looking to ask. And so can you speak to kind of the approach there, and how beneficial or not beneficial it was to have someone that obviously is trustworthy enough to you to have on both sides of a transaction? How did that come about? How did that help or hinder the process? What did that look like?
Well, it's actually very. Thanks for bringing that up. It's actually a huge opportunity for us here in terms of bringing this to us and giving us comfort with the data and the information and the work that's been done at the Ensign, the target company's team. So Wayne Hubert is currently our non-exec chairman at Revival Gold. I invited him in to be on our board originally because of his background with Beartrack Arnett. He's the first finance director of the mine when it was in operation back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And that background and that history, understanding of Idaho, having lived in Salmon, Idaho, where our project is located, and having that experience and background with the project makes him a really good fit. But he went on to a lot of success in the industry beyond the original Beartrack experience. He grew a company called Andean from 100 million market cap to its sale to Goldcorp for $3 billion, over $3 billion. And so he's got a ton of talent. And in addition to being on the board of Revival Gold, he had spent some 7 years pulling together this portfolio of land in Utah, where he lives. And of course, we've talked about it over the years and started doing due diligence on it from a Revival Gold perspective 3 years ago. The timing just worked out really well for us. And the opportunity to put the two companies together really crystallized just in the last couple of months. Of course, we've done quite a bit of further due diligence since that first trip 3 years ago. And Wayne, as a director on both companies, had to recuse himself from voting on the transaction for governance reasons, but he will be on the pro forma company's board. We will appoint a new independent chairman, Tim Warman, who put together Fiore Gold and sold that to Calibre, and has experience with the Western U.S. and developing gold projects. We're also bringing on Norm Pitcher onto the board of Revival Gold from Ensign. He's the former COO at Eldorado. So rounding out our board, one of our directors, one of the founding directors at Revival Gold, Mike Mansfield's going to step down to make room for Norm. Mike's just done a great job with us, and we're really sorry to see him go, but he recognizes that as part of this transition, we're going to continue to grow the business and prosper through that. So Norm joining the board, Wayne Hubert moving aside to have Tim Borman take over as chairman, and all of this taking place very amicably. This is a win-win transaction for the Ensign shareholders. And we're welcoming some really important institutions into Revival Gold. Very excited about how this has all come together, and the connection of the people is really what makes it possible. And as you know, Jarl, there's so many things that one has to look at from a due diligence perspective. Knowing that you have good people on the other side is very comforting for me as a shareholder and as the leader of the pro forma Revival Gold.
No, look, exciting times. Infrastructure is top-notch at both projects. Jurisdiction, top-notch. The talent, the team, clearly built to build. And again, I'll repeat that. It's clearly a team that's been put together and is being put together and complements each other well, built to build. And I absolutely believe that, once this financing closes and people have a chance to really digest the new profile, that Revival is now an even bigger takeout target because of the potential production profile. Anything to add to that there, Hugh?
I think you're right, Gerardo. It's not just the takeover potential, though, that's exciting me about this transaction and what it does in terms of a catalyst. I think it makes us a lot more investable. And if there's been a challenge with Revival Gold, I think our market cap has been part of that. The fact that we've got more heap leach component to our overall resource is also an upgrade. And look, we see a ton of potential here to see the share price increase. I do agree with you. The current financing we're doing as part of this transaction, needs to be put behind us. We'll get to that here shortly. And look, we keep going from gold price highs to gold price highs. Our shareholders are going to be rewarded in a big way. And with this transaction, I think it's a multiplying effect on that.
Couldn't agree more. Hugh, congrats again. Excellent work, and we'll chat soon. I'm sure there's going to be lots of news, especially given where gold looks to be headed. It appears that it's going much, much higher quickly. So thanks again, Hugh.
Thank you, Gerald.
All right, chat soon. Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.